The Dodge Viper has always been one of those cars known for being a bit unruly, a bit skittish and mad. From its debut in the 90s, it was a poster car from the USA. It had a long nose, glorious curves and a V10 engine. They were savage, uncultured and wonderful for it. The Viper was America's supercar, perfectly suited to its environment.
And that's always bothered me because it meant they were a rare sight on Britain's shores, and I'd always wanted to experience one, to hear it, to look at it, just, be around it. And why wouldn't I? I mean, yeah, it probably wouldn't be as dynamically brilliant as some of the stuff you get from Germany, but V10, big V10. Anyway, now it's 2016 and I'm with the latest and most hardcore Viper ever made. This is the Dodge Viper ACR.
This is, according to Dodge, the antithesis of the sledgehammer Vipers of old. Its aero features help provide 1,700 pounds of downforce. There are adjustable dampers, carbon brakes, a massive functional splitter, removable vents on the wings to aid pressure release. It's all functional, it's all there for a reason, and that reason is speed.
Power comes from an 8.4 litre naturally aspirated V10. It produces 645 horsepower and 600 pound-feet. That's a lot. That's a lot of power. 0 to 60 takes 3.3 seconds, which is, kind of Pagani territory. So it's seriously quick, and its top speed is 177 miles an hour. The reason for that, it's comparatively low for 600 horsepower, I imagine a few of you are saying, because that's how the internet works. It's because this thing is covered in aero. Dodge didn't just want it to take on the 911 GT3 RS, it wanted to beat it with a finely aerodynamicized hammer.
As such, there's a 5-stage stability control system so you can learn your car step by step. You can adjust the car's height so you can drive it around town without risk of damaging any expensive splitters, and you can remove the chin spoiler if you need to. There's less sound deadening than a normal Viper, manual seat adjustment, only 3 speakers for the stereo, so you can listen to music but not actually hear it.
The carpets are extra thin to save weight, so don't go expecting to, run your toes through them as one would a Rolls Royce. No. You see, this is a functional car, and its function is to go around to every racetrack, take on every other car, and take every record it possibly can. Something it's been doing all over America. It's a seriously fast car.
It's quite hardcore then, but also delightfully old school. It's got a 6-speed manual gearbox, and its power goes through the rear wheels only. And that V10? Not a turbo in sight. And even with said engine, which must weigh more than the moon, the whole car is just shy of 1.5 tons.
So I'll level with you. I've wanted to drive a Viper ever since I kept crashing them on Gran Turismo 2. And now I've got a Viper ACR, the most hardcore, fastest Mega Viper ever. Here's the skinny. This thing is violent. It isn't a road car. Somehow it is. It's road legal, but it really shouldn't be driven on the road. It's insane, the noise you get. It's not a beautiful cacophony of howling V8. It's just V10 noise. Because there's no sound deadening, you hear every loose little thing. If there's a bit of dust in the back, a few stones, you hear it. You feel it. You can feel this car screaming, going faster, faster. It's an affront to your senses, every single sense. It's got so much grip. All the aero, the faster you go, the better it works. Now the track we're on, the Gingerman Raceway, it's quite tricky. There were a couple of quick bits, but not too many, so you've got to be quite brave. But what you do is you find yourself going into these corners thinking, oh, well, that's a bit quick. Oh, okay, well, I can push it a little harder on the exit. I can push it a little harder. I can push it a little harder. And you find yourself going around corners at 70 miles an hour where the run before you did 50. Whew. It just keeps gripping. It loves to grip. The steering is beautifully done. It's not too heavy. It's not too soft. You do have to work for it though. It's a very, very rewarding car, because when you hook it up just right, when you feel it going, and when you feel you're getting close to what it can really do rather than just pussyfooting around it, it's immense. It's absolutely immense. However, while I love the manual gearbox, because manual gearboxes are great, it's a big old box. To take all that torque, you got to work with it. Going up the gears is fine. Coming down, it's a bit of an effort. It's a lot of an effort. Oh, the throttle response is instant. There ain't no replacement for displacement. It hasn't been a monster with me, but I'll be honest with you, internet, I am terrified of this thing. I'll take it as quick as I dare, but good God. More power, off it goes, and it flies. We leave the corner at 90 miles an hour, we get down to the straight, and just this wall of power. So much! 120, then you step on the carbon brakes, and you stop. Oh. This is car up to 1 million. It's the most intense drive I've ever had. And I'm not sure I like it that much. It's a life-changing experience, frankly. It's intense, it's insane, it's better than you, it's better than me. You need to be a racing driver to fully appreciate it, but oh my God. I hate it for that, but man, I love it for it too. Woo!
But how does it actually stack up next to its European counterparts? How would it fare against, say, a Porsche 911 GT3 RS in a drag race? Well, for that we'd need one with us, and luckily enough, we do. Truth be told, we ran this drag race a few times, and even against the might of that PDK gearbox, many were too close to call. Dodge wanted to be able to take on the best Europe could throw at it, and they succeeded.
So let's go through the Viper ACR as a thing. The stereo is awful. The air conditioning is so ineffective it may as well not be there. You can't see out of the back or really the wing mirrors because the enormous wing is in the way. This chin spoiler means a speed bump is a definite no-no, though you can remove it. It is an enormous pain in the backside. You can also raise the ride height if you'd like to, but again, it's a pain. So most people will probably keep them like this in super look at me, I've got an amazing car spec. On the road then, it is awful, terrible, uncomfortable, unpleasant, unlike anything you'd really want on the street. On the track, however, it is simply phenomenal, mind-bending stuff. It's brilliant. The control, the feel, it's hefty, you have to work for it, but when you do and when you get it right, it's spectacular. So it's both terrible and brilliant. So it's terribrilliant. It's that stupid thing. Hello, we really hope you enjoyed the film you just watched, and if you want another slice of Carfection goodness before it comes out here on YouTube, click here, go to carfection.com and watch our next film a little bit early. And as usual,